My 2002 Jeep Wrangler water pump started leaking, so it's time to change it. You can drain the radiator with a plastic plug on the passenger side. It's got little wings on it, so you can undo it by hand. Have a pan ready, so it's going to make a mess. Then I'll remove the upper radiator hose. You could just remove it from the radiator so you can get the fan shroud out later. But I'm going to take it off both ends so I can just remove it completely. It'll be easier to get my hands in there and easier to film. The next thing I'm going to attack is the fan itself. There's a big nut on the back of it, and you can use a wrench and a hammer to kind of get it started, and then once it's loose you should be able to just spin it off, and it will pull out of there even with the fan shroud still on. I'm going to take the fan shroud out. You can do this job with the fan shroud in place, but it's a lot harder. It's 4 bolts to take the fan shroud out. There's 2 on each side. The one below the radiator overflow is hard to get to. It's easier to get to from underneath. We're going to take the water pump pulley, or the bolts out of it at least. And we'll take the belt off. Leave the belt on until you got the fan off and the pulley bolts out, because it'll hold that pulley in place so you can loosen them. And if you have trouble getting them off, just put a wrench on them and hit them with a hammer. Next thing I took out there was the stationary belt idler pulley. And you can, once the belt's off, you can pull that water pump pulley off. Next thing I'm going to do is pull the heater core hose off. There's a clamp. You squeeze the clamp and slide it back, and then pull the hose off of this spout that comes up off the water pump. Same thing with the lower radiator hose that goes into the water pump. Squeeze the clamp, slide it back, and then you can pull that hose off. Just tuck it out of the way. Then I'm going to remove the bolts for the water pump. There's 5 of them. Then I'll put a crowbar or something in there and just pry it off. It's probably still stuck on because of the gasket. Not hard, just pry it a little bit. There it is. Again, you should probably have a pan underneath, because there's going to be some antifreeze still in the engine. Then I'm going to stuff a rag into the opening where the water pump goes. This will keep me, while I'm cleaning it up, from getting debris inside there. Scrape it, sand it, do whatever you got to do. You got to get that real clean so it won't leak when you get the new pump on. Then we have to remove the heater core fitting from the old pump and put it into the new pump. It's 1/2-inch pipe thread. I cleaned those threads up with a wire wheel, and it's pipe thread, so then I'm putting pipe tape on it. You can use pipe tape, pipe dope. But get those threads nice and clean first. And we'll put it into the new pump. We have to make sure we get it pointed in the same direction, which is straight back. There, straight back. I'm going to dope up the gasket with a little black RTV. Don't overdo it on that. Just enough to get it tacky, get it all covered, but not enough that it'll ooze out or ooze worse into the water pump area. And I'll stick that on the water pump. And then you can put a couple bolts through the water pump, in through the gasket. That'll hold the gasket in place even more so than the RTV. There's 5 bolts. One of them is longer, and that's the one I've got there on the top. So the top center is where the long bolt goes. The rest of them are all the same length. Put those in finger tight. And I'm going to run them in with an air ratchet, a small air ratchet, but I'm not going to tighten them too much because we do have to torque it to between 9 and 18. So I set my torque wrench at 9, get them all to 9, and do it using a star pattern. Don't just go around in a circle. And then I will up that until I get to the 18. And just start hooking everything back up with the lower radiator hose. Squeeze and slide the clamp back in place. I'm going to put the stationary idler pulley back on. Tighten it up. Book says 9 to 18 on it as well. Actually, it says 18. Then I'm going to put the water pump pulley back on and put the bolts back in, but I'm just going to finger tighten them because you can't really tighten them until we get the bolt on or the belt back on there. Here comes the belt. I'm going to get it mostly into place with one pulley to go, and then I'm going to push the belt tensioner back using a 1/2-inch ratchet. There's a square hole in the belt tensioner, and you just put the ratchet in there, and that'll allow you to turn it so it's not putting tension on the belt, so you can get it over the last pulley. There I am with the ratchet. Just pull it like you're tightening it. That'll loosen the belt to where you can get it over the last pulley. Then you can pull the ratchet back out and just check to make sure it's on all the pulleys correctly. I'm going to hook up the heater core hose, slide it back on, and then squeeze the clamp, slide it back where it's in place. I'm going to tighten the water pump pulley bolts 18 foot-pounds. I'm going to put the fan shroud back in. Two bolts either side. And again, the one on the driver's side is easier to get to. The bottom one is easier to get to from underneath. I hooked up the radiator fluid overflow can, put the fan back on. I'm going to tighten it up. If you just tighten it manually, it will slip. The pulley will slip on the belt, so I kind of hit it with a hammer too, just to tap it into place. Put the radiator hose back on, then we're going to fill it back up with radiator fluid. I fill it up to where I could see it at the top of the core, and then start the engine and turn the heater on high. That'll get it moving through everything. Once it gets up to temperature and the thermostat opens, it moves through everything. We got to bleed all the air out of it. So run the heater on high, the engine going, keep topping off the radiator till it looks full, and then shut it off, let it cool all the way down. Then you can check the overflow canister and make sure it's within its levels. And that's it. This isn't that hard. I mean, it seems a little daunting at first, but you can do this. It's not that big a job. Just clean that gasket surface real good and clean the threads on that inlet pipe for the heater core, and you got it. Jeep on.